Good afternoon. Welcome to the Wine and Real Estate Vlog. I'm Mark Reinoso with RPM Mortgage. My guest today is Scott Sepulveda with Realty One Group. Today we're going to drink some wine, talk about real estate. So today we're drinking a 2009 Brunello di Montalcino, one of my favorite wine regions in Italy. I know it's not your favorite, you prefer the Montepulcianos, but it's the Sangiovese grape. I've never tried this bottle. I actually just bought it about an hour before we got here, so we're going to give it a sniff and maybe give it a taste and see how, oh God, well, it smells like wine. I guess that's the most untechnical term.
Mark, can I tap into your expertise?
Sure.
Okay, question.
Wow.
The bottle you brought is 2009.
Yes.
What I've discovered when I go to the grocery stores and I'm shopping and I buy a $11 bottle.
Well, that's your first problem, right?
Okay. So it's a marked down bottle and it's they're kind of dusty.
Sure.
And it's a 2009, 2010, 2011. 9 times out of 10 when I get it home, it's spoiled. It's straight vinegar. Why is this 2009 not spoiled? Is it because of the quality of the bottle?
Yeah, you don't know. I mean, it may have been injured in transit. Maybe it was left out in the heat. I mean, sunlight and heat will kill wine, makes it turn into vinegar. And I've had some really expensive bottles that were not good. I bought some from California, and they got shipped to me, and they stayed over, and ended up staying up in a warehouse. And by the time I got it, it was vinegar, and it was $38 a bottle. Really upsetting.
Wow.
So, I mean, unless you're drinking Beaujolais, I mean, age actually is a friend to the grape. Okay. But this is a lot less viscous. It's not that thick. I thought it would be a little bit more fruit forward, but it does have a lot of the dark cherry, a little bit of hints of leather. And let's see what happens when it opens up. But you got a little bit of cork in your glass,
yes, I
think. But it's thin. It's super thin. It's like thin like a Pinot, but. And I do like that.
Well, Sangioveses are thin sometimes.
Yeah, or less viscous. So,
I can't keep up with you. You know that, right?
Yeah, I do. I don't even know what's the alcohol percentage in this. It's 13.5. See, it's a little bit too high for me. I like to drink a lot of wine. Okay. So I like 11.5, 12, which is okay. Yeah, but I'm drinking.
We went to lunch a couple months ago.
We did.
Right then, it came very clear. Don't try to keep up with them. Okay, just enjoy your wine.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I've got to keep these guys in business some kind of way. I mean, like you get some of these big cabs, like these big Napa cabs, and they're like 15.5, and that's like
really.
Oh yeah, no, it's juicy, and
I had no idea.
Yeah, no, just go right there.
Okay.
So 13.5 is about normal for red, but like you get some 15s, 16s. I tasted a 17 out of Virginia, and it was like you're under the table. Wow. I mean. But they're like a meal. They're big and bold and hearty and oh God!
I told you I like that J. Laura cab.
I was gonna bring that.
I got 3 bottles right now.
I figured you were gonna be so prepared. I wanted to kind of throw you off your game.
No, this is good. Really.
Yeah.
No, I can say I had an Italian wine from Italy.
It's so cool. And the evolution of wine. I mean, like I drink a lot of wine. I've been drinking wine since I was 2, and I did become. I told you I became a snob, a bully, like a wine bully.
Yeah.
And then I'm recovering, and now I drink what I want when I want, and I don't like the echo chamber of wine. Like when people, what do you like to drink? Well, I only like cabs. Like you don't know that.
That's so true.
You don't know. I mean, like I told you, we went to France and Germany last year for a month, and I fell in love with their Riesling, their dry Riesling, and it was like, it became my lover. Like that wine was like my constant companion.
A white wine?
Yes. I couldn't believe it. It was like my paramour, my inamorata. I honestly like, and then they give you those cute little Alsatian glasses, and I drank it every meal. I'd start eating about 10, and they'd give you a coffee, sparkling water, and some of the Alsatian wine. And I for 3.5 weeks, I had 1 glass of red.
Wow.
And I loved it. And I totally changed my mind. And if you would have told me,
Yeah.
like, you know, where do you like? I would have
Yeah.
told you Cab, Pinot, you know, Sangiovese. And a lot of it's where you at, but also.
And where was this again? Germany?
Yeah, like Alsace, Germany.
And they're big on the white wines, right?
They are, yeah.
Okay.
So, but you know, what I mean by echo chambers, you know, we're friends with people on Facebook with who we think politically the same, religiously the same, and it's an echo chamber. We just reinforce our beliefs. And
I
so when
gotcha.
you're like, you know, what if we treated politics like wine? Like I only hang out with people who like Cab.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
come
that's
on.
a good point.
You should really branch out. And
Yeah.
I've tasted some natural wines without sulfites. Amazing. So
Wow.
yeah, no, it's really cool to be here, and I know, you know, I'm in lending and you're in Realty, and we've done some deals together. So I thought of you. So how long have you been in Arizona first, and then also in Realty?
Well, thanks for having me, by the way.
Yeah.
I really appreciate this. This is really cool.
Yeah.
So, vlog means video blog. The two words together.
Except you don't do vlog.
Oh, you don't do vlog?
You
It's
just
just
vlog.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I had
if
to learn that.
If I'm cool, you gotta say vlog.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you're really cool, you'll say it so quick people don't know what you're vlog or
Okay.
vlog.
Very good.
But yeah, it's cool.
But anyway, I came to Arizona as a teenager, born and raised in Los Angeles. And here it was, 1979. My dad got transferred out here to the Phoenix area. I'm right in the middle of my junior year. I have a twin sister and a younger brother. So they haul us up in the car, move us to Mesa, Arizona, smack in the middle of our junior year in 1979. Finished out at Mesa High.
Oh.
Graduated there, went to ASU and U of A. Never graduated there, but had fun in college. So I started out, though, in the grocery business. And I actually grew up in a grocery family. Ever since I was a little kid, I wanted to grow up and be a store manager for a store. And I'm not lying. So my dad...
That was the limit to your aspirations.
Yes. So my dad was a store manager for a whole store. Then he became a district manager. My older brother was in the grocery business. My other older brother was in the grocery business. My mom was a cashier. So we just grew up like, you know what?
Sure.
You're going to be in the grocery business. So,
And how'd you get into Realty?
well, that's a good question. So I started out in the grocery business as a 16-year-old bagger. 16-year-old bagger. 23 years later, I'm a store director running a store. And I loved what I was doing.
Your dream.
Yeah, it was my dream. You know, 5 weeks paid vacation, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Working 8 to 6. It was a tough job and a lot of responsibility, but it had all the corporate perks, you know, the bonuses and the gifts and everything, you know. And I thought I'd be doing that until I retired. Well, lo and behold, 2001, our company started to get into some financial trouble. You might remember them as Abco Foods
Yep.
or Alpha Beta.
Yep.
Alpha Beta became Abco Foods. So they started to get into some financial trouble, filed bankruptcy, started closing our stores, and the whole company got divested in 2001. So the store that I was running got bought by an independent, and they had their own store director. They had no need for me. So I was out of a job on May 15th, 2001. I come home, and I don't have a job, you know. 23 years with one company, my only job I've had in my entire life, not counting my paper route.
So you were close to 40.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I was. I was 39 years old. So at the time, I had a part-time meat cutter working at my store just before it closed, and he was also a part-time realtor. And he says, "Hey, Scott, you know, what have you thought about doing after the store closes next month?" And I thought, well, I don't know. You know, I haven't given it much thought, kind of tossing it around. He says, "Have you ever thought about being a realtor?" I go, "You know, I have thought of it." I go, "My mom was a realtor in the 70s and 80s. My mother-in-law was a realtor in the 70s and 80s. My grandfather was a realtor in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. I said, so it's crossed my mind. So he goes, well, let's go to lunch. So I took him to lunch, Mark, and I just pounded him with 50 questions, you know.
Like you would do.
Exactly. They were all written down. I had my pen going, you know.
Did you have a flow chart?
Exactly. You know, what's the average commission? How many hours I expect to put in? What's the toughest part of the job? Tell me about marketing. Tell
That's
me
so
about,
funny.
you know, commission splits, you know, and negotiation and everything. So I just pounded his brain for, you know, a good 45 minutes to an hour. And I came home and I told my wife, Debbie, I said, you know what, I think I could do this. I think I could make this work. So
And the second act of Scott Sepulveda began.
And I got licensed in September of 2001, 1 week to the day before the 9/11 attack.
Wow.
1 week to the day
Okay.
before.
That gives us some perspective.
Yeah,
Wow,
it was
okay.
kind of scary. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, how's this going to affect my new career? You know, are people going to stop buying? You know, I got to go back to
No,
the grocery
yeah,
business.
and we know the market dropped and everybody started buying houses.
Yeah, it was scary. So I got off though to a good start, and I had lots of closings right away. And now here we are, 16 years later. And during the 16 years, you know, not only as a full-time agent, but I've been a branch manager twice, a mentor, a company trainer, certified instructor for the Department of Real Estate. Back now in the field as a full-time agent, and just loving it. You know,
Yeah,
it's been 16 good years. It really has.
And everybody I know that that I know that knows you speaks so highly of you, and of course I think highly of you. So I think you're pretty well qualified. There's a couple questions I was thinking about, and I brought them up before. So since you've been in the business, forever and have a great reputation, like, what do you think about like what's going on in the industry, technology-wise? Like, not just so. First of all, how has it helped you, technology?
Well, technology, it's incredible the way it's changed our entire industry, and over the decades, But
Sure.
even in the short time I've been doing this, I've seen some technology changes too. But I mean, I remember vividly being in my mom's car as a 11-year-old, and this is Los Angeles. She's a realtor in LA. Her MLS book, Mark, it was this thick. It covered the entire LA basin. I'm thumbing through this thing. And then when my grandfather was in it, they didn't have lock boxes. You had to drive to the listing brokerage office, get the key, go show the house, go return the key to the listing brokerage office. And I thought, oh my gosh. And so I'm sure my grandfather was grateful when lock boxes came out, and I'm sure my mom was grateful when the fax machine came out.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't even picture driving down the street, stopping at a payphone, shoveling dimes in the payphone or quarters, and then asking the receptionist, "Do I have any calls?" Yeah. Mark the lender called, and
Yes.
Tiffany the title escrow.
That's me, the lender.
Exactly. And so with me, right when I got in 16 years ago, the MLS had just gone on the internet, and that really made things easier. No more MLS books. So now it's on the
Man,
internet.
I hadn't even thought about that. I remember getting in the business in the mid '90s, and I remember pulling someone's credit in the company that I was with. I took their credit on a Thursday night, and I said, "We'll have it back by Monday."
Yeah, there you go.
And so it's great. They're like, "Wow, that's quick!"
Yeah, 4
it's
days
great.
only.
Yeah, and it's amazing how efficient we've become.
Yeah.
But and also like the instant gratification. Now even people can go on the internet and find houses themselves, which leads me to my next question. There's a downside to this.
There is, and I'll tell you, you're onto something there, because the client, the buyer, the potential buyer, thinks that they know a lot because of the internet. Okay, so I can find homes on Zillow, I can find them on Truly, I can find them on Realtor.com, and I don't know if I need Mark or not, because I can go on Ditech.com because they just offered a 2.1 interest rate.
Whoa.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're going to blow themselves later,
Yeah.
But. So they look at all that and they're thinking, what, I can do this myself. And they think, if I call an agent now, maybe he'll charge me money. Maybe I'll have to sign a buyer-broker agreement. I don't want to waste his time, and I don't want to pay him money. Man, that is so far from the truth. Use a buyer's agent, make him work for you, make him find the homes for
and I
you.
think you absolutely provide a good service. I've seen how you work, and you're a testament to realtors everywhere. I think you do a great job, which is why I like you and why I'm drinking wine with you.
Yeah, there you go.
And so
That's
I
great.
know you weren't prepared for this, but I have to ask you this question because I like making people slightly uncomfortable. What's that thing on your ear? No, just kidding.
Yeah.
What are your top three movies? Top three movies.
Oh, good one. Top 3 movies.
Yes, and you,
Number 1.
Quick, don't overthink it.
1966, Cool Hand Luke.
Oh yeah, the
Paul
eggs.
Newman. Oh
Okay.
my gosh, what a great movie. Number 2, Outlaw Josie Wales, Clint Eastwood. Doesn't get much tougher
Another
than that.
Clint Eastwood guy.
Yes. Number
Okay.
3 is a comedy, and I absolutely love Talladega Nights with Will.
Oh, Baby Jesus.
Yes,
That is so
yes.
funny.
Those are 3
Oh
awesome
man,
movies.
those are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not deep, they're not shallow,
No.
So.
You actually knew that. Like I didn't
Oh
prep
yeah.
you with that.
Oh no. Yeah, it's Cool Hand Luke.
Like
It's
do
like,
people ask you that? Like
Oh yeah. Well, it's like my my passcode on some websites. Cool Hand Luke. You just key
no
it in.
kidding. Wow. And you know what? I ask people that all the time, and I would say 70% of the people go like, "Oh, I don't know. I couldn't pick." And you're like,
Yeah.
"Man,
How about you?
movies?"
Yes.
The changes. I really like Dodgeball.
Oh, that was good.
It is
Oh,
so like the fourth
it's so
time.
classic.
But yeah, the first time you watch it, you're like,
Yeah, no, it's
But
classic.
like after like 3 or 4 times,
Like
and
when they're running across the street, the car hits the dude and he flips over.
Yeah. You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Or remember White Goodman? He was just like so like slimy and
Oh, yeah.
greasy. And, that was great. So I like Dodgeball. Let's see what else I like. I really like Princess Bride, but
Oh, yeah.
it's not something I want to watch all the time. I love the Godfather series.
Do you?
Oh, I think they're so relevant.
Yeah.
And I love Rocky. All right, so change the subject because not completely, and I didn't prep you for this. What do you wish that clients or buyers or sellers knew? What's the major before going to a realtor?
You know what?
Or is there a pet peeve of some sort?
That's a great question because I'm dealing with that right now, and I have a client. no names given. I hope they don't see this. But sometimes you come
We'll make
across
sure
that
they do.
client, Mark, that just feels they know everything.
Yeah, they know a little bit just to be
They
dangerous.
do. They go on Zillow, they go on Trulia, they talk to the neighbors, they watch all the stupid TV shows, listed, whatever, all those stupid things. None of that's real life real estate. None of it.
Right.
Okay? So then when we're counseling them, they paid us for our counsel, right? We're counseling them about pricing their home, about making a competitive offer. They look at us like we're morons, and we got our license last week, and we have no clue what we're talking about, even though you can tell them, you know what? Long time in the business, lots of buyers and sellers, plenty of satisfied customers.
Doesn't matter.
Here's the advice. It's in one year out the other. They
Doesn't
don't know
matter.
because
You had a lobotomy last week.
Their
You're
cousin,
an idiot now.
Their cousin Josephine said that I'm wrong, and their cousin Josephine knows better. And then
No,
when I
their
hear
cousin
that,
Joey.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joey back in New York.
When I hear that, I said, "Oh, you're kidding." Joey said that. What brokerage is Joey with? Oh, he's not with a brokerage. He works at Walmart. Oh, okay. Well, I guess you should listen to him.
Does Walmart have a brokerage?
I don't know,
They
but
might.
you see my point.
But
is,
yeah, I get it.
You've paid us for expertise.
Sure.
Let us guide you through the process. And
Yeah.
most clients are very good about that. But
Right.
sometimes you'll come across that one client who, for some odd reason, Mark, is just really stubborn, and
So are you passive aggressive and just walk away and then get mad, or do you get mad in their face, or get like?
no. One thing I can say is I don't get angry in their face. I'm not high strung that way. I don't have a temper. I'm very patient.
Yeah, I know that.
Very patient, but I know how to.
But will you tell them?
I know how to get firm and make my point when I feel I need to.
Okay.
I really do. I really do.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Other than that, the only.
And I think that's a really hard thing because I think people look at realty and they go, I could do that.
Yeah.
Whereas most people don't look at loans and be like, I could do that, because they're like, it's complicated and you have to
Right.
know programs. But your job is probably more stressful because everyone's coming to you. You got to handle all these
Yeah.
things. But I think people look at like, oh, I just drive people around a car, or they meet me at the house and like, donk, donk, donk. Here's the house.
Not even
I mean, I know, but that's
Yeah.
what people think.
I know. Here's one more pet peeve I have. When they don't understand how agency works and how an agent gets paid. So there's actually people out there, Mark, that'll use 3 different realtors at once to show them properties.
Jesus.
We'll use this guy for Gilbert. We'll use this lady for Chandler. We'll use that lady for Mesa. So, and they all 3 don't know that we're working with each other. So they've looked at 10 homes with this person, 15 homes with this person, 12 homes with this person, over months of time of emailing and touching base and follow up and showing them properties. And then pretty soon they choose one, and it's one of those. The other 2 are out of the picture.
Yeah.
So I want people to understand, and most people understand this, we don't get paid until it closes.
Yeah.
We're not on salary. We're not a W-2. We're a 1099. We're independent contractors. We don't get paid until it closes. So when you abuse a realtor in that manner, they've just worked for free. And no one likes
So
working
what
for free.
percentage of people abuse it on purpose or
It
by
doesn't
accident?
happen that often. It happens
So
a
out
lot
of the
on
people that
accident.
do, mostly on
It
accident.
happens a lot by accident. They
That
just didn't know.
reinforces my
They
opinion.
just didn't know.
Most people are.
They'll show you like you'll show them like maybe 17 houses over 4 months, and all of a sudden they learn that a friend at work is also a part-time realtor, and that friend, that part-time realtor, talks them into looking
Oh,
at
I
one
know.
house and writing the offer. And wow, you're kidding? 4 months of work.
Yeah, and they just don't think.
They don't. And
Or my neighbor's a loan officer. He just got in the business.
there
I'm
you
like,
go. That's
"Ugh."
exactly what I'm talking about. you
Yeah,
know?
it really bothers me.
Yeah, and
Yeah. At the same time, sometimes we're the recipient of that.
Yeah.
Although I don't like to take deals from people, but sometimes like, hey, I didn't know you were in the business. I'm going to use you, and they don't tell me about the other loan officer.
Yeah.
So it goes from there.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. One last question is that I want to ask you. Since you have been a realtor, you've answered all my questions
yeah.
with that. Also bagging.
Oh, okay. Good.
With groceries.
Yeah.
When you bag groceries, eggs on the bottom or eggs on the top?
Always on the top. Don't ever
Really?
forget that. And don't ever put soaps with produce in the same bag. Ever. okay?
Really?
You follow those 2 things, and you're going to be a great grocer someday.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that. I
yeah.
didn't. I guess it's common sense with the eggs, but
Oh, yeah.
the soap with the produce.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
No, I guess that's intuitively correct.
Yeah.
Well, hey, it was great talking
I
with you.
enjoyed it, Mark. I really
Definitely.
did. Thank you so much.
We'll be back next week with more great stuff on the wine and real estate blog. Mark Reinoso, Scott Sepulveda, Realty One Group. Call them.